Well, whatever you do, don't swear because we're live right now.
I am used to that.
I mean, we are.
We are live.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
that's very cool.
hey, it's Kid Friday. How you doing? I love doing that. I'm Dave. We do the show because you're a kid in a digital world, and my buddy Gary is joining us on this show 222. Show 222. Gary, welcome to Kid Friday.
Well, thanks for having me, Dave.
Yeah, no problem. Can you get the mic? Get up there.
Oh, get right
Yeah,
up there. Okay.
there you go.
I'll definitely do so.
Hey, hold on. I'm cutting out now. Oh, now I'm back. All right. So, what's going on this Kid Friday? I'm just gonna I have to find a place so I don't cut out. If I just hold myself right here. Facebook has some problems with data collection and with all sorts of stuff, and they were actually going to release a new product, and they put that on hold because of what's going on. We'll let you know about that coming up. Also, am I right there? All right. Hey, Gary, do you use computer files?
I do.
Okay.
All sorts of
So, have you seen a computer file that is spelled GIF?
Absolutely.
All right.
The
Now-
debate is whether it's pronounced
No.
GIF
Well,
or Jeff.
officially, is that just me cutting out? I think it's just me. I don't think so. I think we're recording. Okay. Officially, after massive research, think of the peanut butter. It's a GIF file.
Okay.
And Apple just bought the company that owns the GIF.
Wow.
So look out. Google may come out with Skippy. You never know. You never know. But we'll talk about that coming up. Also much more. I got a new phone. Did I go Android? I don't know. We'll find out about that. And what else? What else is on the agenda, Gary?
I don't know, Dave.
Are you a
What do we-
WhatsApp guy? Do you ever use WhatsApp?
You know, I'm not.
Okay, you don't have to be. I was just curious. WhatsApp? Did you ever watch that show, What's Happening?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
I need to turn
Don't
you up a little
watch
bit.
it.
I'm not hearing you enough.
Yeah.
There you go. Remember Shirley?
Yeah, Shirley Hempel.
Rerun?
Absolutely. And Raj. And
We went to high school together. So we're just going to do this whole show about being in high school.
we did back when we were kids in an analog world.
Yes. But you're a kid in a digital world. We got so much fun stuff. And this is the point of the show. I go, let's hit that intro. Let's get this party started. And you know what? We're coming from a different place. And now our producer's coming in, who's all upset.
Hit it.
Oh! Let's get this party started.
Yeah, I'm a kid. I love computers. I have an iPod. I'm a gadget freak. I like to play with my display. I do it every day. I have awesome technique. Yeah, I'm a Kid Friday. I love this stuff, can't you see? Yeah, I'm a Kid Friday. I'm a kid who's in love with technology. Kid Friday.
Kid Friday is brought to you by Story Cub Video Picture Books. That is right. It is awesome. It is story time all the time. That's right. Story time all the time. 24/7, 365. Holy moly. Gary, do you like a good story?
I do.
Hey, do you see us right there? We're spinning around.
I do.
Okay, so Kid Friday is viewed in over 200 countries around the world. I'd like to wave to those 200 countries. Hello, everyone. Hello.
Got my parade wave down.
Yeah, wow. Have you ever been in a parade?
I have. For several years, I was a parade announcer as well.
You were. Why are you talking all of a sudden softer?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Would you like me to be a little bit more in the mic?
No, I don't know. If I'm
Or a little more
am
in
I-
the moment.
Am I too high?
No, I think that's fine.
I'm not high.
I
Okay.
can, no, and I can be a laid back guy, or I can be a little bit more energetic. So
That was an inside joke.
no,
Okay.
and I got that.
All right. So, Story Cub. You can go to storycub.com, and right on the front page, you scroll to the bottom of the screen, and you can see free stories, video picture books. There's Julie, one of the talent behind Story Cub, and there's Julie, one of the Story Cub talents, and there's us. Hello. And thanks so much, Story Cub, for being a sponsor here on Kid Friday. All right, Gary, so are you a Facebook guy?
Yeah, I am.
You are a Facebook guy.
Quite a while. I have been, yes.
I think I joined in 2008.
It seems about around the same time as me, I think.
I think it was Doug B, who said,
Yeah.
hey, I was never on this MySpace. There used to be something called MySpace. I was never on that.
Yeah, and I was on that back in the day as well.
You were.
Yeah.
Now it
until
makes
the-
sense. Now it all makes sense.
Up until the time it was abandoned, and you would go back on there, and you'd occasionally see the sagebrush sort of blowing by, and it was kind of an abandoned ghost town after a while. And then everybody migrated over to Facebook.
Right. And now Facebook's in trouble. A big data breach going on, and I think there's a lot of things that Mark Zuckerberg is supposed to talk to Congress. He's supposed to be in front of Congress, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, he's going to testify.
He's gonna. Is he gonna testify?
I'm not really sure if it's actual testifying or
I
if
don't.
he's just speaking.
But it
in
seems
front
like
of
they were
Congress.
holding back more than what they could have been saying. I'm thinking. So it's time to make privacy tools easier. That's what they're saying. So last week, they showed how much more that they need to do to enforce their policies to help people understand how Facebook works. And here's what they've done. Controls are easier to find and use. What they've done is they've redesigned the entire settings menu on mobile devices from the top to the bottom. Ooh, that's a big move. From the top to the bottom to make things easier to find. Instead of having settings spread across nearly 20 different screens, they're now all accessible from a single place. And does that make sense?
It does.
I give him a thumbs up for that.
I do too, because I've been told in the past that I was inadvertently oversharing with people that I wasn't aware of.
Right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
now I can get right to it and close that up.
So, new privacy shortcut menu has been made so you can make your account more secure. You can control your personal information, control the ads you see, and also manage. This is, Gary, what you're talking about. You can manage who sees your posts and profile information. You can do that now, but the thing is they're making it much more supposedly easier to access and probably a little bit more out front, saying, just so you know, you are giving permission to do this or not.
And I think that's a good idea. The more information you have about that, you can make that decision for yourself. Some people say, hey, I want everybody to see this. Other people say no, and I think that's great.
I think there are some posts that people make that they want only their friends to see. And I think there are some people that have some posts that they don't care who sees it. Everyone could see it.
That's right.
So you can change them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think you can individually do that, or it can be, but this will help us figure that out.
Will it?
I hope it will, because for me, I don't know. Like I said, somebody was telling me before, everything is available, and so then I had to go back in, and you're digging through menus and figuring stuff out. So I think this will just be a little easier.
And that's what I tell you as a kid, that everything that you write, my big quote, my little motto I like to go by:
What's that?
be nice.
Yeah, that's a good motto to have, I think.
Be nice, okay? Because you may not think about it now. You're in middle school or you're in high school, whatever it is. And then, 5 years, whatever, you're applying for a job, and all of a sudden, they go through, they find a post that you did about, I don't know what. I was going to say stealing something, only because earlier today, I'm about a block away from a grocery store, right? And I'm walking out, right? And these two guys jump on this guy, and there's giant Hershey Symphony chocolate bars flying everywhere, and some milk protein drinks. This guy had a leather coat on, loaded with goodies. Loaded with goodies.
Unbelievable.
They took him, and they were bringing him back in the store. But some of the stuff was still sitting there. I'm thinking,
Tempting.
I just walked away. I just
Okay. Well,
I walked away.
That's probably what.
But he certainly had a sweet tooth. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely, it's an unusual thing to steal in quantity, I would think. But
There were,
if you got that kind of appetite,
well, it's like, why steal once or twice or three times when you can do it once?
Well, I guess
No, you shouldn't steal at all. That's horrible. That's going down on his permanent record. And whatever you write on Facebook, even though it says it's all private and it doesn't matter what program you're on, and they all say it's private, there's some stinkers out there that have a way of getting a hold of your information, and it could come back to you someday. So be nice.
Yeah.
Be nice. The two guys that jumped this guy, they weren't too nice.
No.
But they had a reason to not be too nice.
Yeah, I mean, you
Big
can make
black
exceptions.
leather coat. There were. You ever seen these protein drinks?
Yes.
Yeah, there were like 5 of them rolling around, and like I said, these like the Wonka bar size chocolate bars.
You have expected to see the golden ticket.
Yeah, right. Maybe he's looking for. I don't know, but busted. I guess is that
Yeah, I guess that's a term we could still use. Yeah.
okay? Well, I didn't think of it. I should have had some film rolling. I should have put my camera on.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that gets back to the, at least he wasn't Facebook Live,
And what if I shared
showing
this
the
with someone,
theft.
and then it could come back to me, and then all of a sudden I'm being looked at, and
See, there you go. Or you might have been accused of being an accomplice, and you were documenting this.
I had my
Instead of-
receipt. It was $52. I still have it on me because I forgot to give him my phone number. I want to get the points.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was $52.
You spent $52 at a convenience store?
No, at the grocery store.
Oh, okay.
No, there's a Cub right
I was gonna
literally
say
a block
that.
away.
No, I was going to say if it was a convenience store, I was going to say that's an awful lot of candy bars and
No.
beef
This is-
jerkies.
Yeah, no, I know. It seemed like it's the convenience store stuff he was grabbing.
Okay.
But so anyway, be nice, okay? Be
Yeah.
nice. Don't think twice. Apple this week. So I don't know about. So how old are your kids?
They're going to exit their teens this summer. They'll be 20. And I have an older daughter in her 20s.
Okay, so when they were in high school, I'm not sure if they got it or not. Were they issued any kind of computers or like tablets or anything?
No, not at our school.
Okay, so my daughter, who is a junior in high school right now, for the past few years, they've been giving each student a Chromebook to use, and Google has really, really gotten in on the educational market and have leaps and bounds. However, I found out that you can watch Netflix. There's people. You can't see the screen. I talked to one of the teachers. I said, you should have one of those, speaking of shoplifting, you should have one of those shoplifting mirrors at the back of the room so you can see what everyone's doing because they're all watching Netflix.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. And as a matter of fact, I was in higher education for a while, and Apple was making a big push there with the iPad,
Yeah.
and they were issuing them to students, and that was the main problem was that while they were supposed to be using them for notes or following along in class, there was a lot of Netflix usage, Facebook usage.
Yeah, well, Apple this past week had they made an announcement, and it's oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. It looks like an iPad, does it not? Apple is they are missing out big time on the educational market. Are you fixing that, Gary?
Yeah.
Does it sound good to you?
It sounds awesome.
Well, at least it does for you. Okay, so Apple leans on multimedia to get iPads into schools, and they also are making them cheaper. So if you want a cheap iPad and you just bought one, that's a bummer. Let me just tell you a little about. Do you have an iPad?
I do. We have several of them in our home.
You do.
Yeah, my wife has the mini, and I have the older one, which I've used for a variety of things. I mean, I love it. I've used it in live performances I use it for lyrics. I do a lot of reading on it. I listen to podcasts on it.
Just so, in case you don't know, Gary is as far as I'm concerned, a famous rock singer. You know that?
That may have been true some decades ago.
And I'm not sure why that cut out like that. Hang on for a second, kids. So let's throw that on there. Okay. Go like that. Okay. So, no, you played in some bands. Hey,
Oh, sure.
Hey, ground control. That's all I need to say. All right. So, Apple, here's what's going on. Apple has a Google problem. Google's won, over a large, most of the schools with these Chromebooks. Mm-hmm. And now Apple just announced that they took the press on a field trip. School, it's school. Make
Okay.
Field trip, get it? Huh? And the event was called "Sorry, You Can't Make a Cool Video with a Chromebook." What do you think about that? Can you?
I might attest to that fact, actually. My daughter has a Chromebook.
Does she?
And, I mean, it's.
I'm going to add another camera here. Hang on. Can you hang on there with me, Gary?
I can hang for as long as we need to, Dave.
We're gonna try and pop another camera on here, and I think that's our problem, actually. Let's take a look here. Are we on any of these cameras? No, I don't believe so. Hang in there. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. Look at the iPad. How was that? You know what? I hope you enjoyed the commercial break because we're back. Although, where am I? Where'd I go? Oh,
I don't know. You gotta come. Oh, look at that.
okay.
This will prove that this is truly live.
Why? Are you saying it's unprofessional?
Well,
Are you
no,
saying we're not? You saying we will put out programming like
I'm
this?
saying if that was post
What
editing.
kind of accusations are you making here?
I'm making no accusations at all.
It's a nice watch you got there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sounded vaguely.
Might have the guy from the grocery store come over,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
take a look at that.
Yeah, things took a little turn there.
It's right in front of me. Jeez. Wow. All right, so here's the deal. All right, thanks. We're back. Thanks for hanging in there. So the Apple, they're putting out a 300. So it's a 9.7-inch iPad for $329, $299 for students, and it supports Apple's Fancy Pencil as well as a new stylus from Logitech called Crayon. And so it looks pretty good. $300 for. It's so interesting now because you go $300 for an iPad. Wow, what a deal!
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, not anymore. I've already got 3 iPads. I don't need another one. You better come on with some bigger specs, something else to. You said you have a Mac Mini?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any reason to get another one?
No, probably not. No.
So they, that's.
Yeah, I guess if they added some new, can't be without feature, I would think about it.
Yeah, right.
And the stylus, I guess, is tempting, but most of my graphic design work I'm going to do on a Mac.
Are you?
A full Mac rather than my iPad.
I'm gonna show you a picture here, if I can.
There we go.
You probably can't see it, but it's about dissecting a frog. So you can dissect a frog on an iPad. So there's some cool stuff that, in other words, not just drawing. It's not not just for art. It's for, Well,
you could use that in the classroom. That's probably their push. Is that you could use that in a biology class. You could use it as just a learning aid to follow along with the instructor.
Put it this way: this iPad right here,
Mm-hmm.
It's got the old school connector on it.
Yeah, that's what mine has too. This is my exact one.
No, that one has a new connector on it.
Oh, well, then that's mine.
The problem-
this is the newer one.
The problem, if you are a Kid Friday viewer, you might know that, and I'm still working on it, my headphone jack broke off in the hole, and I tried to put some a toothpick in there with glue to pull it out, and I'm still trying. So I have to, if I Bluetooth it, I can use Bluetooth, but I can't plug headphones in there.
Hmm.
Could you work on that, maybe?
I'll see
Before
what
the
I
end of
can
the
do.
show?
I can
Could you
see
maybe-
what I can do
that'd be-
during here.
Seriously, I really appreciate it. Could you?
I'll try.
Doesn't look like you're trying. It's just sitting
Well,
there.
okay,
What are you talking about?
but I don't have long.
Ah,
enough,
I'm
I don't
just
have
kidding.
long
Yeah,
enough
that's right, that's right.
fingernails.
I put some glue. And I had this heavy duty glue that I've been using for years, called the Welder.
Okay,
That sounds pretty intimidating.
it does.
The
Yeah,
welder.
it sounds pretty permanent. The bond.
It didn't do it. So I'm gonna try another.
At a loss.
Epoxy.
Yeah, you can't really take it apart.
I'm gonna try another epoxy for that. How about that? All right. So we talked about GIF files, did we not?
Yeah, we did briefly.
GIF, like the peanut butter. And
Okay.
I talked to many people. It's funny because at the Apple Store, some people call it the iPhone X, while others call it the iPhone 10. The flagship phone.
No.
Still confusing on that.
Is there a definitive answer from Apple?
Why? I got this from 2 different people who work
Oh,
for
okay.
Apple.
So there is not a definitive
I don't.
answer.
I don't know. But there's a company called Tenor, and Tenor is the proud owner of the GIF file. You know anything about that, Gary?
But somebody
GIF file?
actually owns the GIF file.
Well, somebody created it, and you get a patent on it, and you can hold on to it and sell it, if so be, for good money. If there was some type of, do you know what a GIF file is?
Mm-hmm.
I bet you do.
I do.
You do, right? Yeah. Tell us, because Gary is a pretty sharp guy here. He really is, and
Well, it's basically, it would be an image file. A file with GIF extension is basically, it stands for the graphical interchange format file.
oh, is that what it means? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Hold on,
And
what is it again?
graphical interchange, format. In other words, GIF files don't contain audio, okay? They don't actually contain audio data.
No audio. Okay.
But they're often seen online as a way to share video clips. And basically, websites often use GIF files too to display animated objects. The most frequently you're going to see that in things like buttons on a page or header images, like that. And they're saved in this lossless format, so the image quality doesn't get degraded when you compress it. In
I was
other
gonna- I
words,
was gonna
making
s-
it small enough to use.
I was going to say
online.
most of the GIF files that I believe that I've used, they're small.
Mm-hmm.
However, the resolution is really good.
Right.
So I think that's a
Yeah, it's somewhat similar to the idea of an audio file that you want to put online. And most of the audio files you would record, if you were capturing all of the data, it would be so large. It would take too long to load. And that. So we compress it, and oftentimes that affects the quality of the audio. It's not going to be as great as the uncompressed file. This is very similar, but it's in the image format. In other words, you can maintain a lot of this high quality of the image,
Shouldn't be blurry.
but the compression is going to make the file smaller without affecting the quality of it. Yeah.
you're smart.
I did a little bit of this years and years ago at the dawn of the internet. I was a programmer developer back in 1998. So that was
Can you make
20
me something?
years ago. Yeah. What's that?
Can you make me something?
Can I make you something?
I figure you got these qualifications. Could you?
I made a lot of early web pages.
1998.
Yeah.
That's AOL days.
It was. As a matter of fact, when we were first developing some of the stuff that I built sites, I did some work for the legendary William Shatner. He had a website, and I also built back in the days when we used to buy phone cards. I did a thing for Paramount and I built a Star Trek phone card website.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
And
cutting edge at the time. No,
It
at the
was.
time.
No, at the
I'm
time it
serious.
was.
At the time.
And I think back to the early days of the internet, particularly when we were acting as developers. And one of the early things that we were first working on were shopping carts. The idea that you could actually buy something on the internet rather than using it as an online catalog.
So speaking of, that reminds me of patents, and we're talking about GIF files and everything. And Amazon they got a patent for one-click shopping, one-click ordering. So if you look anywhere else, unless they license it to you, which I don't think they do, you can go on Amazon and one-click ordering. They have a patent on one-click ordering,
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
which is very dangerous.
It is. And I think back that how different that is than 20 years ago when we were first selling our services as programmers. And I remember one of the clients saying, there is no way that anyone will ever give out their credit card number on the internet.
It's just like everyone today is saying no one will ever get access to your information.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you're talking about 20 years ago, so that's actually before most of our viewers were born.
It's true.
Look how far we've come.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and to someone like myself, 20 years doesn't seem that long ago. But in terms of technology and where we've come, I mean, this was the very early part of it. And now virtually all of our lives are spent, we shop on the internet. We do basically everything through our phones or, on that. And I think back to that when people were very skeptical of the very idea that the internet could be commercial. It could be something you buy things from.
Why is this? Are you hearing that okay?
No.
You're not?
No.
Oh, no,
There.
All right.
No.
I'm skeptical on your qualification. I'm just kidding. I'm not.
That's
All right.
okay. You wouldn't be the first one.
No. This is one sharp guy, and you know what? If Queen would ever want to get back together, Brian May, you give this guy a call, okay? Give this guy a call because I kid you not, it is a night at the opera. It is jazz. It is you know what? All the other guys, they'll be put to dust if you get the reference.
You're very nice.
You're such a, his Rhapsody, his Bohemian, it's just unbelievable. Okay.
I am Bohemian. Do
Are
know
you?
that? Yeah, I actually am.
I don't even know what that means. What does that mean, Bohemian? Are you from Bohemia?
Ancestrally, yes.
and Bohemia
I
would be
wasn't born
located
there.
somewhere in
In Europe, yes. Let's just say Europe. That's as much
near
as I know.
Belgium.
Okay, sure.
Okay, I don't know. I know.
I honestly don't know either. But look it up because that's the beauty of things. I could have just Googled it and it'd
Could've.
probably tell us that.
Yeah, could have. Another one bites the dust. There you go. All right. So, I just got an Android phone this week. An Android phone. Mr. Apple got an Android phone this week, mainly because they gave it to me for free.
Well, that's a good motivation.
I changed my service. I was with the Sprint people, and I had the iPhone free forever plan.
Okay.
Now, you got to read the fine print. Every time you upgrade, they charge you $15. Unless you're a business.
Is that free?
That doesn't sound free to me. The thing is this, is when it first came out, I got in on it, and I never upgraded. I did not upgrade once. Not once.
So what were you carrying, like the iPhone beta?
No, I had the
or
iPhone
something like
6.
that?
The iPhone 6, 6S, something like that.
I didn't know how soon you came into that.
No, they just started it like four years ago or something. I don't know when it was, but I could have gotten. What are we up to? We're already through the 7, 8. Geez, we got the 10 out, right? So I mainly got rid of the Sprint because I moved, and the reception was not so good. So I went to Metro PCS. Are you familiar with these guys?
I've heard the name, but
I was going to
load familiar.
I was going to load a picture with them, the Metro PCS I had. Let's see if we can do that. Boy, wouldn't that be a miracle if this could happen? Let's see. I'm going to try it.
Be pretty
And
cool.
good luck. Good luck.
see.
Well, how about this? How about this? Look at that.
Look at that.
Huh? Them are some nice graphics.
I think so.
I think
yeah.
they're GIF files or Skippy or what's that Peter Pan? Is it Peter Pan peanut butter?
Yeah. There's Peter Pan.
Are you a creamy or crunchy guy?
It almost seems criminal to admit that I am not a peanut butter guy.
Ah.
Although I love nuts, peanut butter is not my
Someone offers you a Reese's peanut butter cup. Do you take it?
Okay, well, I would eat the Reese's peanut butter cup, I
Okay.
guess.
Okay.
Yes. So I guess in that respect, I would be a peanut.
Simple question. I mean,
Okay.
that's how we tell. That's how we tell.
All right.
So check it out. So I got this Samsung phone, the Galaxy J7 Prime. The thing is selling for over $200 on eBay and stuff. I did get a SIM card that I believe I can, after a week, take it out and put it back into my iPhone. So this is on. So Metro PCS, just so you know, this is no commercial for them. I just did a lot of checking, and for me, I don't know. Metro PCS is owned by T-Mobile.
Okay.
So if you have a T-Mobile phone, it's the same towers, it's the same everything. All right. They had a deal. I don't have three. Are you my friend?
I'd like to think so.
Are you? You're my friend.
Sure.
Okay. Because they had a deal, unlimited everything, 4 lines for $100 a month.
Yeah, I think I've seen that advertised before,
Have you?
and I think it seems almost too good to be true, is it?
Ooh, I don't know, because I had to get a single plan because I don't have any
Yeah, I
friends. But you're my friend.
And I'm locked into some eternal family plan from the I think it's Darth Vader Wireless or something like that.
Really?
No.
Wow.
It's actually Verizon.
The cool thing about this Metro PCS, of course, I'm not giving it a review yet because I just got my phone yesterday. However, it is I have it on auto pay, and there is no contract. So I can have it for a couple months and get off it if I like it, whatever. So what I did is, it's interesting. I am big into, if you watch Kid Friday, you know I'm big into Spotify. And I stream Spotify at 320 kilobytes per second, which is high quality. And I got not an unlimited plan, but I got a 4 gig data plan.
Okay.
However, as part of that, if you have any music app that you're streaming, it does not count towards that data.
Okay,
So,
well, that's
so I can listen to Spotify. I can stream it the entire day, and it doesn't go against that 4 gig of data.
Wow.
That's pretty.
That's a great plan. Yeah.
And you know what? I had to find it. The guy didn't even tell me. I was looking, and I was hold on now. What's this unlimited? It's like I said, I have Spotify Premium. Will that? No. Yeah, no. Oh, okay.
Now, how about the? Are you a Netflix guy on your phone?
I'm not. No.
No, and nor am I. I will watch it
Sometimes
at
with the
home.
girls, I like to watch Netflix and hang. But other than that, I'm not a movie guy. I watch the PBS NewsHour. What a boring guy I am.
Okay. No, I just wonder because that's a data hog.
That would
too.
that would kill you. Yeah. If you watch movies on your phone, I watch it on my TV.
Yeah, that's where.
Oh man. Oh.
Story Club.
Hey. Are you painting that with a GIF file?
Looks to me like an animated GIF. Looks to me like an animated GIF.
All right. We're going to get out of this thing in just a second because
We're jamming.
we are jamming. We're jamming like Bob Marley.
Now,
right?
did you write that theme song?
No, I didn't write that theme song. That theme song is a loop. Is a music loop.
Right, straight out of Garage Band?
It is
Is it?
actually. Yeah.
I thought it sounded somewhat familiar.
Now I have to change it. You've ruined it
Oh,
for
no.
me.
Have
You've
I
ruined
really?
it for me. Okay, so what were we talking about? I don't remember. We lost consciousness.
Your new phone and
Oh, yeah. So I got a
and
new
then
phone.
the Netflix thing and how it's a
Netflix,
data
that's
hog.
right. Yeah,
and-
yeah. So you need unlimited. I was always scared because I streamed Spotify so much. I was scared. And on my iPhone, if you go into settings, and then I have two more iPhones somewhere around here. If you go into settings and then you go into about and then scroll all the way down, you'll see how much data you've used. And in the amount of time that I've owned that or been using that phone, I've used 149 gig of data overall. So I don't know if they were not counting Spotify towards that as well.
I would hope not.
Oh, you have an iPhone, huh?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at
Were you
that
hiding it
right-
from us or what?
No, I have this giant iPhone.
Well, you made the font big.
Yeah.
I have one. See, that's what I'm going back to the 6S. I think. Although
Yeah.
I got to tell you, the Samsung Android, I could be making the turn to Android, but then none of my contacts will sync, and none of that's a hassle. However, Android phones, the biggest and best thing. First off, right out of the chute, this is a 32 gig phone, okay, as far as storage. 32 gig of storage. Plus, I can put in a micro SD card that can give me another, I forget what it is, 50, 60 gig, whatever. So that's, or more, I don't know what. But that's nice. You can use an SD card. You can put it in. They showed me how to do it. It's great.
Cool.
All right. So is there anything else you want to talk about? Gary and I went to high school, and we it was very unique. At first, I was just kidding when I said that. But kind of an inside little joke there. However, we were very fortunate at our high school. We had our own radio station that actually broadcasts radio.
Yeah, and not just throughout the school, but like throughout the community. We actually were reaching people in their homes.
Ooh, my disc is almost full. Okay, that's why we're gonna have to wrap it up.
Okay.
But you know, I guess what I'm trying to say is this: is that you can have your own podcast now. It's like your own radio station. You can have your own podcast, and it's easy to do. It is fun, and thanks for making Kid Friday number one. The number one kids technology podcast around the world, viewed in over 200 countries. Gary, I hate to say it, but we're going to wrap things up, but we used to do a show. Was it in the morning?
Yeah, I think so. It was various times during the day, I think. But, yeah, it was a...
What was it called?
The Davey Hawk Show.
And did we change turns on who was playing the records? Or was someone in...
You know,
why was my name first? I
think it's because you had started with a previous partner, and I replaced him. And
a lot of turnover.
I was known as Gary Hawkins, and they used to call me Hawk. So, I think your previous partner was it Mike?
Mike.
I think it was Davey Mike, and then Mike left, and Hawk sort of sounded like Mike. So rather than calling it the Gary Dave Show, we called it the Davey Hawk Show. At any rate, what Dave was getting at was it gave us the opportunity to reach out beyond that one room to some other people, and podcast gives you the ability to reach out around the world.
It does. I used to broadcast the basketball games and the football games. Had no idea what I was talking about. Literally no idea. So, with that said, Gary, can't thank you enough for joining us.
Well, and I can't thank you enough for having me. It was fun.
This is awesome. We need Gary back on the show because he's, number one, he's a computer programmer, I think we learned. He knows all these GIF files, and if he comes over to this Studio C that we're currently in, maybe you could see someone getting taken down for trying to steal some stuff from a store.
You never know.
You never know. Any final words? Is there anyone, last chance, because anybody you want to say hi to?
I should say hello to my kids, because who knows? They've seen this. They've seen the show before, so they'll probably watch it. Now
I'm sorry.
That I'm on it.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, you don't need to. But I'll say that, and say hello to my beautiful wife, who I've told she has to watch this when it airs. So.
You want to say?
Hit it, hit it, hit it.
Oh! Let's get this party started.
Yeah,